It is time for the Chinese Helm video versus the global version and what are the differences on their kits. As usual, before we start, hello there, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Today's topic is going to be Helm, the differences between global and the Chinese version, why the Chinese version looks like they are not getting treasures, at least for now that's what it looks like, and of course a couple of misconceptions people keep saying about the Chinese version that are just lies. So, before we start, leave a like, subscribe, help me grow the channel, and thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. Love you all, bossos. The first thing I want to mention is basically the misconceptions with the Chinese version. Since this version came out, I've seen so many people talk shit. They don't get tan characters, nor is whitewash, they are not getting any of the brownie mummies, Mattis doesn't exist, Crow doesn't exist, all of that, a lie. On this patch they are adding most of the brownie mummies, they are adding Mattis squad, and I think they're also adding Crow, at least by the patch notes, that's what it looks like. In 2 hours the server goes up, and I will confirm and tomorrow make another video showing everything they added new into the Chinese version. That's the first thing. So many people keep talking about all of these things without playing the game, without even checking a single live stream, just because they see someone else parroting what they read online. And the same applies to Chinese laws. I've seen this excuse so much. Oh, they cannot have loot boxes. Oh, they cannot play more than 1 hour. Oh, Sefhi, I am an expert in Chinese laws. I have a fucking degree, right, on Chinese law, and I know more than anyone else. So this is not ShiftUp's fault. It is of course Tencent's fault only. ShiftUp, always innocent. Stop sucking dick, alright? That's the TLDR. Now, all that rant aside, let's actually check Helm's kit and what are the differences between global and the Chinese version. Also really quick, but it looks like all of the characters that have a treasure in global have been buffed. So all of these characters have a different base kit. They are not getting all of the skills, but if you've seen my 2 previous videos, they're getting like half of it embedded as the base kit. I do not know if they will just not add treasures, or in the future they will implement them and they will get the same numbers as we have in global. I'm actually curious to see that. Also this week we should be able to unlock overload gear. Tarsis is pushing a lot. Tarsis, I love you. And I will steal his account to showcase how the all gear works in China if there is any differences. If you don't see a video, it means there are no differences. All that japping, let's focus on today's topic. Look at this Helm, bro. She looks so good on that skin. I skipped at the skin and I bought Mihara, bro. I'm a retard. So, that's it. Let's start with skill 1. On global, without a treasure, on last bullet, she's giving crit rate of normal attacks for 5 seconds. On the Chinese version, this remains the same, but she gets part of her treasure, giving HP recovery on full charge attacks to all allies. This is really good, really powerful, and this makes her one of the strongest characters in CN for the heal and for the buffs that she's providing. She does not have the extra burst generation. I assume they didn't want to give her the burst generation because at this stage in CN, there is no proper rotations, so it doesn't make sense to give it to her yet. That's it. Her skill 2, as you can see, stays the same, but there is an increase on the attack damage on skill 2 from an 11% to a 16%. So that's like the only difference. There is no the extra burst generation nor anything like that, and the damage to QTEs permanently, or damage to interruption circles, whatever you want to call them, is still there, same percentage. And then lastly you have the burst. The only thing that has been changed on the burst is the base number. As you can see, it's 1200 to 2.4k. Now in global, if you have the treasure, this is huge. In global is 8,000, 8.2. Helm in global makes no fucking sense how good she is, and I'm not complaining. I love this, okay? One of the best treasure by far, and one of the best characters overall to put on any team as the off burst, as your secondary DPS, whatever you want to put her in there, right? She is fantastic, really strong character. In CN, she is above average or better than, of course, what we got day 1, but it's not a buff that is like, oh, look at this buff, Chinese server is 1,000 miles better. No, it's better, but that's about it. I still think that I would really prefer if ShiftUp did these buffs directly. So rather than having all of these characters get a treasure, we keep the doll system, the normal dolls, but then the characters get an actual buff. This is not hard for ShiftUp, like they can be buffing characters. There is no reason not to do it. I know people will find an excuse, of course, but there is no reason not to really buff all characters that are useless. I am really curious to see characters like Crow in CN. Not because of the lore reasons and the implications, but because her kit is completely unusable in global. I'm curious to see if they will completely rework this to make it work, or she will just remain a trash character even in CN. Honestly, that said though, there is not much else to talk about. It's just gonna be a short video going over Helm skill, like I was saying earlier. I'm gonna be playing later as well. I'm pulling for Helm. She's getting the first banner. There is also a selector for Chinese players this early on, which once again, people will find excuses as to why new players get a reroll banner plus a selector, right? Because the amount of pulls CN has gotten is similar to what we got on Global on release. So the amount of pulls is not the issue itself, it's all of the quality of life they have added on top of that to make their lives easier that the new player in Global will not get. That said, all that jumping aside, it's time for your favorite Doom poster to stop this video. We're gonna be live tomorrow a little bit earlier because we're gonna be playing Crystal of Atlan, a new MMO, so feel free to drop by, say hello, have a good time with the boys, and as usual, good luck with your pool dinner rates. I'll see you in the next one.